All right, what's up, everybody? Look, I want to give you guys a quick update. We're actually going to go inside because it is extremely loud out there. Never mind on that. But I want to give you guys a quick video, especially just kind of directed towards the Solana community, just because what I'm seeing in my comments and in my communities has been something that is a little bit frustrating for me. Just because I see people making a mistake, or at least what I believe to be a mistake, that's probably going to cost them a good bit of money. And there's just no need to make this mistake. There's no need to make this mistake, okay? Now, the mistake that I'm seeing people make is being caught up in the last 2 years in crypto. Tyler, what the hell does that mean? What I mean by that is a lot of us who survived, okay? The FTX crash, the Luna crash, everything that happened with Binance, just all of this crazy shit over the last 2 years is kind of like in a state of PTSD, right? In a sense that it's almost like a disbelief phase where crypto starts doing well and you have something like Solana pumping and doing extremely well. And it's just so hard to believe that we're actually here. It's so hard to believe that nothing is just going to happen like a black swan, another one that's just going to crash the market, like something of that nature, right? Because anytime in 2022 or 2023, kind of, that something really good would happen, something really bad would follow it. Anytime the price would make a decent move to the upside, a worse move to the downside would happen. And I've seen so many people still, maybe even not knowingly, still caught in that mindset. Let me tell you how I can identify those people who are still caught in this mindset, because you might be doing it yourself. You're one of those people who buys Solana, for example, at $60. It gets up to a $90. You sell the entire position at $90, expecting it to crash down to $60 or $50, and you're going to rebuy in. Those are the people at the beginning of bull markets who get absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. I saw this in 2017. I saw this in 2021, and I'm seeing it again in 2024. In the sense that people are expecting these pullbacks, they're expecting these crashes, and they're not dollar cost averaging. They're not still buying in no matter what. They're quite simply just selling their entire Solana position, for example, and just waiting for the crash, and then the crash never comes. And then you know what happens? This is exactly what happens. They buy Solana at $70. They sell it at $100. They say, I'm going to buy it back at $80. The price of Solana goes up to $120. No, let's call it $110, okay? It goes up to $110, 10% past the price that they sold it at. Now they have regrets because they were like, damn, I shouldn't have sold it. They rebuy it at $110. It then crashes from $110 to $90. Then they sell it at $90, expecting to buy it back at $50. Then it goes from $90 to $120, right? It happens all the time. People just get absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. It's the same thing like when the bear market first starts. All these people who are buying every single dip because they're like, well, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. It's going to go up, because they're so conditioned from the last few years that things just go up. And so they're buying even though the market's kind of destined to go down for a couple of years. And we're seeing the flip opposite happening right now, in which people are selling and selling. Every time any type of micro pump happens, they're selling their entire positions, they're closing down, or taking all of their profit and all of their initial out at once, because they have this kind of like, again, PTSD, like this worry that it's all going to come crashing down on top of us at some given point. And although that may be true, and although we may see crashes, and although we may see pullbacks, the likelihood is here, there's a substantially higher percent chance that we see the macro crypto market as a whole, Bitcoin, Ethereum, top alts, etc., do well over the next 2 years than not do well. You got to think along the lines that inflation is being reduced slowly but surely. Interest rates are coming down this year, likely. We're seeing it being an election year in which they're going to do everything they possibly can to make this economy look good, no matter what it takes, okay? On top of all of those things, you're also going into a macro environment in which people are going to have a little bit more money, because not only will the inflation be going down and interest rates be going down, they're also just used to spending as much money as they have been. So whenever they have a little bit of extra money, they're going to spend it, because we're in the US especially is just, it's about spending money. If you don't spend it in one place, you're going to spend it in another, right? From a crypto perspective, you have the Bitcoin halving, you have ETF approvals, we have regulation, all of these things becoming much more clear, right? And so the likelihood is that in the macro sense, crypto is going to do well over the next few years. And by constantly selling every single time, the price goes up at all, hoping or waiting that you're going to be able to buy back and lower, you're probably going to miss out on some of the biggest days and the best days in crypto, because you are so conditioned that things just go down, okay? And so what I'm saying here is that it's okay to take profits. It's not a bad thing to take some of your profits off the table. But if you're one of those people who's closing out 80-90% of your position anytime you go up, just expecting to buy lower, you're going to, again, miss some of the best days in crypto, end up regretting it, and then buy at a high, and then the price is going to fall, right? Don't chase those emotions. I know things were rough. I know things have been ugly the last few years. Trust me, I get it. But I've seen this before at the beginning of bull markets and bear markets, that when you keep basing every emotion and every investment you do off of what the last few years have looked like, you're likely going to lose in the long term. You still may make gains, but you're probably not going to make the gains you could make if you just sat there, just bought the crypto and just left it alone. And when it goes up, just slowly take 5% profits off the table at once, okay? From a Solana perspective, you also need to understand Solana survived all of the things we talked about earlier. And at this point, now we have Bonk, we have Myro, we have Jupiter, we have all of these things happening on chain, bringing volume, bringing traders, bringing investors, bringing liquidity, doing so much for the ecosystem that I genuinely don't believe it will ever get back to as bad as it was in the end of 2022, right? And so, or 2021. And so because of that, guys, and because of everything that, we've seen developing on chain for Solana, the fact that it survived and it is now thriving after everything over the last few years, I just think if you just sit back and let that Solana bag grow, let it do its thing, let it see some action, let it just have time to breathe, you're probably going to do better than if you just try to buy in and sell out and buy in and sell out and buy in and sell out over and over and over again. I'm not talking to day traders. They don't count. You have a strategy that you implement with certain percentages and certain thresholds, and that's totally fine. But if you have faith in Solana in the long term, stop missing some of the best days in crypto like we've seen from Solana over the last 4 or 5 days, because you're expecting that push to 60 or they're expecting that push to 70. Because even when the charts will look like they're going to go to 70 in a bull market, they could just reverse out of nowhere and they take off. That's why I tell you, even when I'm expecting the price to pull back, I'm still dollar cost averaging on the way down, because you never know. So I hope this little Tyler Hill rant suits you well. Even if it's not just about Solana that you're applying this to, apply it to any of them. Your Bitcoins, Ethereums, XRPs, ADA, BNB, it does not matter, okay? Take the principle that the macro looks bullish, and by reducing yourself to just short-term movements, ins and outs, you're probably going to miss some of the best days in crypto and end up regretting it in your next cycle. So with that in mind, I hope you guys do enjoy these quick little videos. I will be back from Cancun rather soon here. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going home, but I'll let you guys know soon, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.